Welcome, Esha. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
मैंने आपकी मूवी का ट्रेलर 4 बार देखा.
4 बार देखा है. How
मैं
nice.
5वीं बार देख रही थी और आपने मुझे बोला कि नहीं देख लो. I just rewound it and just watched it over and over again. I thought it has a very old world feel that एक pious, एक जो एक chaste feel होता था. I like Shyam Benegal, Govind Nihalani films. So उसमें एक reality सी जो होती थी ना वो उसमें मुझे दिखती है. So ये बताइए कि ये film what is it about? When we say एक दुआ, what is it that एक दुआ?
Well, there is a dialogue of mine in the film, which is there in the trailer as well, which goes like, "Zindagi Allah की देन है, इसके बारे में फैसले करने वाले हम कौन होते हैं?" The dua, in short.
It's about children.
Yes, and in the trailer you can see gender inequality being shown. Once you watch the film, there is much more to it as well, which I'm really, glad that a film like this has been made for people to watch and affecting them in a positive way, their mindset.
So I'm assuming this film is about the topic or the theme where a couple wants more children, seeking a male child. I mean, जब तक एक बेटा ना हो जाए, तब तक you can keep trying. Something like that. Is that true?
That is also nice. It has the feel of the film is about more of girl child and the boy child.
I can just tell you a quick anecdote. In Middle East, do you know that in a hospital room, when a girl child is born, उस कमरे के बाहर ज़्यादा सजावट होती है as opposed to a boy child. It is a fact.
How lovely.
Entire Middle East. The reason was also because the prophet that most people belonging or following Islam, उनके जो messenger थे, उनकी बेटियां ही बेटियां थी. He didn't have sons. So it's called sunnat. So when they keep a beard, they say it's sunnat because prophet had it, so we will also keep it. So if prophet had only daughters and you copy his keeping his beard, why not copy the fact that he was in love with his daughters and the fact that he had no sons but only daughters?
Yeah, I mean, I would prefer and pray that both are equally welcome. None of them should have a less meaning coming into this world. The girl and the boy.
You were also 2 girl children. You were also 2 daughters, huh? And your mother has been a very powerful woman. Right from her days when she chose to leave south of India and come to Mumbai and settle here and have a name for herself and a career for herself, to the fact that she had her seat in the parliament, संसद में जो औरत बैठी हुई हो, जिसकी बेटियां ही बेटियां हो, बेटे ना हो, आपने कभी भी ये जो प्रॉब्लम है सोसाइटी की, उसको करीब से देखा है? I don't think you have never even kind of come very close to this problem.
I have
emancipated family
filled with women. My grandmother also a very strong personality, a wonderful writer. She produced films. So with us, we were more, I think, very strong personalities from a very young age, and we made our own choices. So I think that was not allowed to enter our household. That
thought. So that's a legacy. That's a legacy, Isha, where strong women have had strong daughters, and then again they've had strong daughters. So I think it is very logical that you be the right person to be talking about it.
Thank you so much for thinking that way. And I don't know whether I'm supposed to be the right person, but if this has come to me, there is a reason why this has come to me, and I think I'm chosen to do this and sort of contribute to a film for this matter.
And tell me, where did you shoot this film? Did you shoot it in Mumbai?
All over Mumbai. It's a very small, sweet Muslim family. My character's name is Abida. They have 2 kids, Faiz and Duaa. And the husband is a taxi driver, a yellow driver. He has a mother. So the whole atmosphere is very typical to what is there and existing in our city as well.
That's so true. That's so true. And did you research for it, or did you meet any these kind of families or the downtrodden sections of the society? Anything that went into the research of this film?
We see this a lot also, and Ram got a lot to the table as well, as far as how the look should be and everything. I, from day one, when I heard the script, I knew what a woman, being a mother more than anything else, we know what emotions a woman would go through, whether she's a Muslim, whether she's a Hindu, whether she's an actress, whether she's a lawyer or a teacher. A mother is a mother. We are universal. So the
Yeah.
emotion is the same.
But do you think ये जो प्रॉब्लम है ईशा, बहुत सारी सोसाइटी की प्रॉब्लम्स तो गरीबी की वजह से भी होती है, जहालत की वजह से होती है। इलिटरेसी इस दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है। अगर आपको पता ही नहीं है फैक्ट्स क्या है, अगर आपको पता ही नहीं है कि आपके राइट्स क्या है, या हाउ मच आर यू केपेबल ऑफ अचीविंग with this amount of resource or this amount of resource, तो आप क्या कर पाएंगे जिंदगी में? Do you think हम लोग बहुत लिबरल, मतलब ऐसे क्लास से आते हैं वे एटलीस्ट यू वर गिवन एजुकेशन, हमको ये तो पता था कि हमारे राइट्स क्या हैं, बट व्हाट अबाउट दोज वुमेन जो बेचारी सामान की तरह यहाँ से वहाँ और वहाँ से वहाँ भेज दी जाती हैं?
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. I think education is key to solving a lot of these issues. Not just this, many more that our country faces. The root cause of all this is illiteracy. And I think there are attempts being made in now.
So Isha, एक तो ये बताइए कि for some reason, because there is this lot of Urdu in the film that I can see, जावेद साहब ने बड़ी दिलचस्प बात कही थी। बोले कि लोग ये सोचते हैं कि बस अल्लाह का नाम लेने वाले तो बहुत अच्छी जुबान होती है और बहुत अच्छे नुक्ते और ये सब होते हैं। बोले कभी मेरठ और मेवात के लोगों से बात करके देख लो तो the language is does not belong to only one community based on a religious inclination, you know, that it belongs to regions. Like for example, Lucknow city where I come from, वहाँ का रिक्शा वाला जो होता है ना, वो भी उर्दू अदब में बात करता है, बेगम साहिबा ऐसे करके बात करता है। So in this ये जो आपकी फिल्म है, या तो ये डिपेंड करता है कि कौन सी जगह में सेट है, क्या ये?
This is in Bombay.
It's Bombay. So Bombay is like more Bombaya bhasha.
We live in Bombay.
Yeah. So उसमें उर्दू या लफ्ज़ या
film or anything. It's just, I mean, the tonality is very simple and basic, and conveying what we want in a very easy manner.
yeah.
It's a very smooth flowing way.
Okay.
Because we are not from a particular era or a particular region.
Hmm.
Family living in Bombay.
Your mother played Razia Sultan. Huh? Amazing songs, amazing dialogues, और वो भी उस जमाने के dialogues जब 1500, 1600s की बात थी. Would you like to do something like Razia Sultan?
One of my favorites of my mom. I think she looks so regal, and the way it's shot and everything. And in fact, she was pregnant with me when she did the horse riding sequence for Razia Sultan.
Isha?
So, yes. Yeah, she was shooting through her pregnancy. Satte Pe Satta, the song where they all come running down the hill. Again, there she's got her stomach. I mean, you know, today it's made a big deal of that pregnant women are working, but I've seen it closely, having been part of it in her stomach and out of it also when she did films like Ek Chadar Mehlisi and all with my sister when she was expecting Anna. So yeah, I think women are great multitaskers.
I can see a more chubby you. You know, I can see cute girl, the well-fed women's girls, the cheeks, and nice bulked up arms. Did you put on weight for this role?
I absolutely did put on weight for that role. It required a certain look. When you see the film, you'll understand why. I was this, like you said, well-fed woman, look-wise. Basically because of the script demanding it. Usually I lose weight for a film, but for this film I had to put on weight, which was, I mean, I honestly don't enjoy putting on weight, but if the role wanted me to, I did it. And then of course, as now I have knocked off all the weight in time for my next upcoming project.
Hmm.
But that was a different experience. A lot of ghee, and I don't think ghee puts on weight. I think ghee adds a different glow to your skin, which was again required for the film.
Very interesting. And it's imagine for an actor like you who's always been known as a glamorous actor, who's known for Dhoom, and all the jazzy songs and dance that you did, for you to be doing a socially relevant movie, putting on weight for that, a film that makes a point, it makes a difference, and then knocking off all the weight. Has a time come for you, Isha, where you want to associate yourselves with award-winning themes, award-winning movies, things that are relevant?
I think with time I've evolved as a human being, and automatically my choices of what I choose to do have changed. Back then, I was this 18-year-old teenager who started out. So the role
Yeah.
and everything were very around that. Today, I'm also a mother, and as a woman, I'm very clear about my point of view and my vision and what
Yeah.
I want to convey, whether it's through a book, a film, or just generally when I talk.
Yeah.
That reflects on my choices, I would say.
But you don't hobnob too much in the industry. Why is that?
I had one baby in the, couple of years back, and then I got pregnant again. Through my pregnancy, I wrote my second book, my first book. Um and now I think very organically the offers that are coming my way are really interesting, which gives me
Mm,
that incentive to want to step out and go to work and come back home.
mm.
The kids are also a bit grown up, where I feel, yes, I can continue my profession as well.
And in general, Isha, when you were growing up, um, see, this gender bias is a huge problem, not just in India, but the entire subcontinent. I wouldn't say the world, but it's especially in our subcontinent that has developing nations as opposed to developed nations. It's more agrarian in its nature. The societies are more वर्क इंटेंसिव कि जिसके पास बल शक्ति ज्यादा है वो राइज करेगा और जो जिसके पास कम ताकत है यानी औरतों के पास कम ताकत है भले ही दिमाग ज्यादा हो लेकिन ताकत कम है तो आप घर पे बैठिए when you are growing up I'm sure in your family may you have never experienced it even at work you wouldn't have but in general what's happening in the world around you in the society you grew up in especially when you were an adolescent what was your reaction to gender bias
When I was a kid, that time we don't really understand much or know what is happening.
Hmm.
Get into this sort of detailing of being biased. But over the years, when you know, develop a sort of an inclination to know what is happening around the world, and you watch news and you read,
Hmm.
then the stories that crop up there create the awareness that,
Hmm.
why does this exist? What is there that is not there in the other one?
True.
That is the thought that has always stayed. And I wonder what is there that the other one doesn't. We are all human beings at the end of the day.
That's true.
And but I see a slight change. I see things slowly but surely moving in the right direction.
And when your mother was an actor, there were lesser women producers.
Yeah.
Now you see Anushka Sharma, Guneet Monga. There are so many women producers. And earlier we thought it's a man's job. Again, that agrarian way of thinking. It's a tough job. It's a physically intensive job. And now you see women smoothly doing the work of, production, editing, running around on the sets. It's very different industry back then, very different industry now, which you are in.
In fact, in Ek Dua, our film, from the DOP to the costume designer to the set designer, um, the makeup and this head, all women.
Even the DOP.
Yeah, not intentionally done,
Yeah.
just but that was great. And the DOP, she's fantastic, and most of it was steady cam, handheld. She's done a great job.
Wow, wow. And as a mother, Isha, now that you're a mother knows the impact that a woman's body has after one child, after two children, after three children, four children. And it's not just about giving birth, it's also taking care of them, breastfeeding them, mentally, physically, psychologically, being there for them, their studies, their physical safety, and everything. The mother is mostly responsible for. What would you like to tell those women who are under pressure of having more babies, just in search of that male child?
I think it's really unfortunate that a woman is put through something like this just to achieve a certain goal. And I don't know how we can, address it on a personal level, because we are literally going into their family and in their homes and trying to dictate to them how they should probably choose the way of life
Yeah.
family. But I'm sure on the larger picture, with more awareness towards the female, her journey with pregnancy, post-pregnancy depression, lot of things, it all affects, and we need to create more awareness about it for it to reach those homes and getting into the house and dictating terms to them. And even with postpartum depression and all that, there are a lot of women who go through it and don't know how to deal with it or how to talk about it. I think it should be mandatory that after delivery, you must get the woman to do a certain amount of tests, especially hormonal tests, which will immediately set the record straight, whether their progesterone is low or high or whatever, and give them the right kind of vitamins so they don't have to face it. Otherwise, a lot of women in smaller towns and villages don't know what they're going through.
Don't know.
So we need to basically create a lot more awareness on these sensitive matters, which people should address and talk about.
That's true. And उससे सबसे ज़्यादा परेशानी तब होती है. Neena ji once told me, Isha, that my heart goes out to women who are, बाकी प्रॉब्लम्स दुनिया की हैं, लेकिन ये जो गरीबी जो प्रॉब्लम है ना इस दुनिया की, औरत पे वो सबसे ज्यादा हावी होती है. वो गरीब औरत अपने घर का भी काम करती है, दूसरे घर का भी काम करती है, बच्चे भी पालती है, सब थोड़े रिसोर्सेज में. एंड इमेजिन हैविंग टू हैव सो मेनी चिल्ड्रन, योर हस्बैंड जस्ट द सोल ब्रेडविनर, बिकॉज ही इज अ सोल ब्रेडविनर, यू हैव टू बी एट होम बिकॉज ऑफ द चिल्ड्रन. हर चीज ना एक नेक्सस सी बन जाती है, परेशानियों का एक नेक्सस बन जाता है, and woman gets to bear the brunt.
Something that my family has seen very closely. I mean, my mother was the one who made it big, but before that, her mother and her father, my grandfather used to work in the government as a, he was working for the government, and she was a housewife, my grandmother, and they were living in a small little place in Delhi, and she had 3 kids, had to take care of the house and the husband, and she went through a lot, like what you're saying, and they were not rich people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I kind of totally empathize with what you're trying to say as well.
Tell me some fun moments, Isha. बहुत भारी भरकम बातें हो गई. Fun moments from the show.
This subject is such that there was a certain atmosphere around it that was created on the set. So, but yes, post back up and before shooting, I mean, me going on set this time was different, as not just as an actress, but I'm going also as a producer, responsible, making sure that everyone's got what they require for the day. That's all, because pre-planning was a lot. Also making sure that from the actors to the spot boy, everyone is happy and in a good frame of mind and fed well and feels like this is a family, big family towards the film.
You as a producer, having 2 babies, having written 1 book, still an actor, a good-looking actor, and making movies. But this is taking multitasking to another level. Tell me about Nari Shakti, of course, Nari Shakti. And I can see Lord Krishna's statue in the background, and I follow one of his teachings very religiously when he says that keep calm at all times. Na dukh mein dukhi ho, na sukh mein bahut sukhi ho. And I think your career, Isha, is also epitomizes this line, that it has been you've been very consistent. I mean, you are there, jumping into the wagon just when you want and jumping out of it just when you want to. Yeah. Talk about the purpose of your.
Yeah, it's
how do you want your career to shape up?
I mean, I'm someone right now where I am. I'm definitely looking at doing some good work. Good work is touchwood by the grace of God coming my way. I love my profession. I love being an actor more than anything else. Everything else is around it, but just the fact that one gets to perform in front of the camera and live so many different lives in one life, that is something that I want to continue doing. And yes, I mean, I'm looking at connecting and working with good people with good concepts, and which will just keep stimulating me as an actor as well.
And a producer. So you want to produce more films.
So the films that I'm looking at making again have to somewhere have a positive impact on the viewer's mind.
And your film with Ajay Devgan, a series that I've got to know.
Web series together. Yes, it's a great setup, and I'm really looking forward to it. Working with him again after a while. We've done a lot of films together, so he's a great co-star and a great co-actor to work with.
Yeah. So एक दुआ छोटी सी ये है आपके लिए कि the role of motherhood should also be fulfilling, the role of an actor and a producer. You excel in all the roles.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Esha. Have a good day.